Joining us now is the senior senator representing Indiana, Republican Senator Dan Coats. Mr. Coats has served in Congress for more than 20 years now in total. A record number of Hoosiers were deployed to both Iraq and Afghanistan since World War II. A lot of Hoosier families have seen the impact of war. This issue with Russia, are we looking at military action? Will Hoosiers be dragged into a war or some sort of military conflict?
I think that's highly unlikely. This is not a problem that needs to be solved with military action. It can be solved with tough sanctions, and it can be solved, as a president initially said, by enacting a high price for what Russia has done. In order to accomplish that, you need presidential leadership supported by a bipartisan Senate and House and American people, as well as European leadership. I think that leadership has been too tepid, too weak so far to accomplish what we want to accomplish.
So what would you do differently? Well, I mean, what should the president be doing right now besides talking in Geneva, which is what's happening now?
Well, as you know, I co-authored, along with a Democrat senator, Dick Durbin from Illinois, a list of sanctions that we sent to the White House. It was passed by the Senate unanimously. It was much tougher than what has so far been initiated. I won't go through all 15. Secondly, I put in a separate piece of legislation together, and now I'm working on a third piece with a number of my colleagues, really encouraging the White House and Western leaders, it's got to be U.S.-Europe together, this is where the conflict is, to impose, or to at least threaten to impose, if Russia doesn't back down. And so far, we've not taken the hard steps, I think, to hit them where it hurts. That's in their economy, their pocketbook, isolating them from the rest of the world community. And these are a number of initiatives that I've proposed but haven't been picked up yet by the White House.
On the home front, on Thursday, the president touted that 8 million people had signed up for the Affordable Care Act, 1 million more than the White House had anticipated. Will the party stop all this talk of repeal or replace, or are you still questioning those numbers?
You know, it was interesting. When that news came across, I was with someone who has said, listen, it took me 3 days, and I had to make 7 enrollments to become eligible under Obamacare. I have 7 enrollment numbers under my name. They're counting all of those as separate people. Now, I don't know how many people fell in that category. I do know a lot of people all throughout Indiana have said, I've had 3 or 4 times in order to get accepted. So I think the numbers may be off whack. Also, we know that about 5 to 6 million people their insurance was dropped. They had no choice except to go to Obamacare, so they're counting those. So the question is new eligibilities. Beyond that, I think the policy is fundamentally flawed from a policy standpoint and from an affordability standpoint. We will see as this plays out. The president says, look, the Democrats shouldn't be afraid of this. They should run in support of this. All the Democrats I know up for election 2014 are running away from it and trying to say, we got to change this. I mean, this is not working. Mr. President, you may come to my state, but I'm sorry, I got a schedule conflict. If they really believed what the president said, I think they'd be embracing him and meeting him at the airport and saying, let's talk about Obamacare.
Dan Coats, senior senator from Indiana, we thank you so much.
Rafael, thank you.
You know, the door's always open. Come on to visit anytime.
I appreciate it.